Good morning. What's that? 7:05 in the morning in my front garden at long last. Been a weird 4 or 5 days in it with the new coach coming in and not feeling sorry for myself. But these night shift knackered me. That's time then the flight out here. But anyway, who cares about that? So, reading all the comments, and 95% of the comments are brilliant. And please be aware I can't reply to everyone. I know I keep saying that. I miss some, and I do close some threads just because it's ran its course. People are saying the same thing, and rightly so, because I know everyone doesn't read this. I know most people don't read all the comments, and I'm the same when I go on another thread on another page. I don't read it all. I just see that the initial op was ABC, and I reply X Y Z usually. But I know we don't always all read the comments now. Coffee. The wife forgot to get milk last night, so I had to go to 7-Eleven to get milk. But anyway, a big talking point has been Russell Martin, obviously, and the recruitment. People say, who can he recruit? Is he a big enough name to attract? Now, he's not in charge of recruitment. It's Dan Purdy and Kevin Thelwell, is that how you say it? The two gentlemen from Everton. And now let's concentrate on them. They are coming. They live in Everton, and I'm going to assume their jobs are pretty secure at Everton because all the Everton fans I know and what I've read online, they all think they did wonderful under under kind of difficult situations. They found players, they sold players, and in general, they're well regarded. Now, so their jobs, I would say, were safe jobs at Everton. They've come to Rangers. The club have sold themselves to them. The new owners have sold themselves to them, and now we all know that this has been going on for over 6 months. I know they can't say that officially that they were doing stuff behind the scenes. I'm assuming they can't because they might get in trouble. Someone will correct me on that if I'm wrong. But they've come here. They've been sold what the future of Rangers, and they've been told what money they've got. They've been told what the vision are, and the vision is pretty simple: is to win. But at the same time, we've got to start making money from player sales, and we've got to start doing well. Start getting players from the youth team into the first team. Because let's be honest, Rangers have over time have never been good at that. Even back when the 9 of the row period started, I tell you what, could we even name 11 players from the goalkeeper to the striker that came through the youth academy in the last 20 years? I think we would struggle to name 11 players, for each position. So, but yesterday we were told that although these chaps are in charge of recruitment, Russell Martin will be involved in the recruitment process. They're not just going to stick something and go, there, fix it, so to speak, make him a better player, because ultimately that's a coach's and his staff's job is to make players better and make us a profit. So when people say, who's he going to attract now? When Rangers approach a player and their agent, remember agents and managers, as in player management's their management staff that they'll be involved with and the agency they're at. Rangers will approach them, and then we don't sell Russell Martin as such. We sell Rangers to them and what the vision of the future is. Now, with everything that's happened in the last 14 years, now you take your blue tinted specs off here. If you were a player worth, say, 6-7 millions, right, that means there's a lot of teams will fancy if you're in that bracket. Rangers come knocking on the door, and the agent will say, well, you know what, they've had a bit of a rough time the last few years. I'm not sure I really want my player to go there. It might tarnish his career in some sort of way, Obviously for the guys at Rangers, the players at Rangers fan, he's going to go, I'm on my way. Well, maybe not all the time, but certainly it's going to prick his ears. So what will happen? The two lads, I keep forgetting their name, Dan Purdy and Kevin Thelwell, will have to sell Rangers to the agent. And I think I may be wrong here. I think the agents are going to be the biggest problem than anything, because agents are, without going down a YouTube, a rabbit hole of dissing agents. Agents, they're not well liked by a lot of clubs. Put it that way. I think Sir Alex Ferguson had 3 or 4 banned from Old Trafford. So, but agents are going to be the problem, but at the end of the day, the agent's here to protect his asset. Because the agent makes money off of the player. I think there's new salary. I think there's new caps coming in for how much money they can make from FIFA or UEFA. Again, that's another story. But so when people on the page say, "Oh, how's he going to attract?" It's not just him, as in Russell Martin. It's a whole package. And I would think ultimately, when a player thinking of coming, that's when Russell Martin will come in and not just sell himself, but again sell Rangers and what's happening. And he'll also be telling who we're going to sign in the future, of what type of player. we're going to sell in the future, and whether this player's going to be first 11 or he's going to be in the squad on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays for the team, and what he sees happening to that particular player, you know. So I think we just need to. I mean, I know everyone's at 100 miles an hour right now. I know this is my second attempt at doing this video. Um, Everyone's at 100 miles an hour thinking, maybe overthinking. And anytime I say anything like this, I include myself in this. I can overthink as well, as anyone that knows me will confirm. But we just need to be patient. You know, the transfer market opens on June the 16th. I know that because it's my 51st birthday. Um, so between now and then, there's going to be a lot of speculation, as I've said in quite a few videos recently. I won't be jumping the gun in that. I see a lot of pages, and I think the stuff they put up is brilliant, saying, what about this player? But the problem is with social media, is people see a page say, what about this player? And it's just speculation, and it's a good thing because they've obviously done their homework on this player. They put his stats up, what he's worth, where he's from, what shoe size he is. And some people think, oh, Rangers are going to sign him. See, I won't do that on the page until I'm really, really sure. Like I keep saying, in the past, I think I've got a semi-decent reputation of not jumping the gun when it comes to that. I really very rarely posted a player was coming until it was more or less in the press. You know, there was 3 or 4 came that I knew were coming, I was told, and they came. There was one that said is definitely coming and he didn't, and that I'll tell that story another time, and I get absolute dog's abuse for it. But yeah, it was the one time in 14 years that I got it wrong. But the thing is, the player was actually about to come, but then something happened. That actual story how it got, that's pretty funny as well. The player actually ended up at Ibrox as well about 6 months later. But anyway, so just what I'm trying to say is give Russell Martin a bit of breathing space. You know, let him show what he's worth, and let Rangers show what's happening to these potential players, because it's a bit unfair to say, oh, he's not going to come and play for Russell Martin. He's not. He's going to come and play for Rangers. You know, and to counter myself, contradict maybe, there is agents and players out there saying, wait a minute, there's something happening here at Rangers. This is a real deal, because this is the first time in 14 years with a real solid board, backers, financial backers in place. That's not discrediting the people that have been here in the past, because they did their best. You know, it wasn't good enough, and ultimately a lot of mistakes made, and the jobs for the boys thing at Rangers in the boardroom level was terrible. You know, it was, as much as we've got to say thank you to them, they saved us, but they didn't. You know, we should have been, the position we're in now should have been after 55 or even before 55, but it wasn't. We are where we are, and it's a good place to be. It's exciting. I'm buzzing for it. There's a certain, I know people will jump on me for this. There's a certain amount of Souness buzz type about it, and a different, the same but different, because Souness was bang. There's Graham Souness, you know. And as I've said, for me as an 11 or 12-year-old, whatever I was, it was Graham Souness, the player, more than the manager, because we didn't really get that at the time. I understand that, but it's a good place to be. You know, it's exciting, and let's say, go back to what I was saying about player recruitment. I won't be jumping the gun. That's what I was going to say. In the past, I wouldn't say anything until I was 90% sure the chap was coming, the player was coming. I'll drop that down to 80 now. Like I say, plenty of the lads at Rangers Journal are doing brilliant stuff. All the blogs, all the podcast lads are doing brilliant stuff. Every day I watch them now, and I watch them now more than ever because I learn. You know, I mean, I'm just an opinion based person, an opinion based account now, our page now, because the contacts I had were Hong Kong. They're now not involved anymore. Although the last post I did about them, they told me, the gentlemen, the people told me, and they always approached me. I never ever once asked them what was happening. They told me that they had heard of American investment coming, and I did reply. I said, any idea who it is? He says, we've not got a clue. You know what I mean? He says it's a tight ship, and that says it all, because the people in Hong Kong, they weren't on the board on that, but they know. Okay, so what's that? 10 minutes almost. I've been rabbiting on. If you've come this far, thank you very much. Anyway, cheers.